Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping into a really fascinating set of sources you shared with us about a brand called BMerciful Fashions. And honestly, it's way more complex than your typical apparel line. Our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're going to unpack the philosophy, the marketing, and the business mechanics behind this company that seems to thrive on a really unique paradox. Their main tagline gets you right away. Fashion for the bold, built for everybody. So it's not just about making cool streetwear. It's about intentionally merging that street style with a pretty profound divine purpose.
And that's what's so fascinating here, the way the brand presents itself.
Yeah.
The sources, they repeatedly frame this as lifestyle movement, not just a business.
That's our movement, right?
It's actively trying to merge spirituality with, modern culture. And it uses style as the vehicle to deliver this faith-centered message of empowerment. So our job is to really get past the slogans and see how they actually do it.
How they execute.
Exactly. Through their collections, their whole stance on sizing and the very specific messaging they use to basically sell an identity.
Okay, let's unpack this then. If we look past the high-end fabric and the cool designs, what's the bedrock here? What's the message they're trying to communicate?
The core mission really revolves around this idea of radical empowerment.
Yeah.
They want the person wearing the clothes to walk boldly in who they are, to feel chosen, fearless, and this is the key merciful.
Right. It's in the name.
It is.
Yeah.
The whole belief driving the brand is that style can speak before you do, that every thread, every stitch is meant to be light in motion.
And they ground that big idea in some very tangible symbols. We see that embroidered lion emblem everywhere. Sources say that's all about courage and faith. I mean, that's a powerful mascot for a brand trying to play in the high-impact street-style world.
Oh, absolutely. The iconography is so intentional. And then you have that overarching call to action. Love, live, and be merciful. They're literally weaving spiritual ideas into their collections.
Like the mercy-made pieces.
Exactly. And championing this idea that, grace still has style. It's an unusual fusion, for sure, but it seems to be really effective.
That fusion creates this powerful emotional contract with the customer. I pulled this one quote from the sources that just nails it for me. It described the clothing as ministry disguised as streetwear.
Yes. And purpose you could wear.
Purpose you could wear. That's such an extreme level of intentionality.
And that framing is the key. It completely transforms the purchase from just, buying a hoodie into an active affirmation of your own personal spiritual identity.
Right.
But here's the interesting question for you, the listener, to think about. If a brand promises you ministry disguised as streetwear, does that put a way higher, maybe even an unachievable expectation on the brand itself?
Oh, that's a great point. I mean, if you're wearing your purpose, you expect that purpose to be flawless. The brand can't mess up.
The stakes are just higher.
Yeah. Okay, so moving from that deep philosophy to the practical side of things, the next thing that just jumps out is their focus on inclusion. That built for everybody, half of the tagline.
Precisely. The sources make a big deal about this. Their new arrivals are specifically crafted for plus size and big and tall men and women. This isn't just, an add-on.
It's not an afterthought.
Not at all. It's a core design choice, making sure that message of confidence and boldness is genuinely accessible to an audience that, let's be honest, is often completely ignored by high-fashion streetwear.
And you can really see this focus in collections like the Royal Crown line.
The Royal Crown concept is, it's really interesting. The source material analyzes it as being for, and I'm quoting here, modern-day McKings and McQueens.
McKings and McQueens, so what does that mean?
Well, it's not about old-school inherited royalty. It's about leading with your own inner vision, reigning with spiritual style, and basically redefining royalty on your own terms. It's about self-appointed dignity.
And tying that regal confidence directly to what you wear every day. But that kind of message, it has to be accessible, right? And we see that. There are items like the Royal Crown soft style t-shirt, which is priced pretty affordably between about $17 and $24.
That's the entry point. That's strategic. It's the gateway to the message. But they also offer more technically demanding pieces.
Like the Royal Crown women's cropped hoodie. That one's a lot more, like $63 to $67.
Right. And that price jump tells a story. It suggests the higher-end items have more complex design elements, more engineering, really, to get the fit right across different body types. It's them backing up the built-for-everybody promise with actual investment.
So the price reflects the complexity of keeping that promise. That makes sense. Okay, let's transition from the brand identity to how they actually express it through their seasonal lines.
Yeah, if you look at their seasonal stuff, you see a couple of distinct personalities emerge, but they all share that same core DNA of, purpose and heritage.
Okay, so first up is the Winter Grace collection. This seems to be tailored for people who lead with purpose. It's a lot of embroidered athletic wear, vibrant prints.
hmm Bringing heritage into a really contemporary, comfortable space.
Yeah, the examples are strong. You've got things like the men's robot spiderweb fleece joggers, which run from about $75 to $84, or the women's fleece sweatpants, and all these great colors.
It's all about that tailored athleticism, but with that spiritual vibe of leading with grace.
And then the counterpoint to that is fall fresh.
Right. And this collection seems really focused on women, with this explicit message to own their space and love their bodies. The whole aesthetic is different.
How so?
It's more, well, it blends floral prints, slicker cuts, more empowering details. It feels a little fiercer, maybe more declarative than the comfort of winter grace.
Okay, I see that. The BMerciful Nubian Drip Queen women's jersey, which is like $68 to $72, that perfectly illustrates that aesthetic. It's a very specific, confident look.
Exactly. But this is where the brand's theological messaging gets really, really sophisticated. In the Frey McCoy Mercy Drop series.
The Mercy Drop series, okay, the sources label this a visual prayer. That's a huge statement for a piece of clothing.
It's a massive statement.
So what does Mercy Drop actually mean?
It's this beautiful theological metaphor that you can wear.
Yeah.
The idea is that God's grace or mercy doesn't just show up in these huge, overwhelming events.
Right, not some big miracle.
It's not a flood. It's not a storm that just sweeps you away. Instead, it comes in these steady, daily drops. The tagline is perfect. Not a flood, not a storm, just enough mercy to cover me daily.
Wow. Okay, so the garment itself becomes this constant, tangible reminder, a quiet reassurance.
That's it. It shifts your focus from waiting for some grand spiritual moment, just appreciating the small, constant bits of grace in your everyday life. I mean, for a streetwear brand, that is an incredibly deep level of intentionality.
It really is. It grounds the whole spiritual thing in something practical. But what I find so compelling is that they also allow for, some fun. It's not all serious theology.
Oh, for sure. They have these more playful, almost meta sub-brands.
You mean like the Alter Eagle Trying hoodie? The one that says laugh now, cry later?
Exactly that one.
Yeah.
Or even just the Drip Girl and Drip Man hoodies.
Yeah.
It shows they have a sense of humor, a real self-awareness.
So they don't get too preachy.
Right. By mixing in that self-deprecating humor and, modern slang, they keep the brand from feeling too rigid or academic. It proves they can be spiritually serious without losing touch with the fun and personality of streetwear culture.
That balancing act is so important. Okay, so let's move past the messaging and aesthetics to the actual quality. CEO Mel Darden put out this Be Merciful cloth technology statement.
Yeah, and that statement is critical for positioning them in the market. It's all about proving that the emotional message is backed up by physical durability.
So what's the commitment?
They're sourcing premium apparel, prioritizing fabrics that give you endurability, softness, and what they call a luxurious feel. The sources kept highlighting the heavyweight structure and premium texture of their pieces.
And for anyone who knows apparel, what does heavyweight structure really signal?
In high-end streetwear, structure is everything. It equals perceived value, longevity. A heavyweight fabric, it just drapes better, doesn't wear out as fast, and it signals that this isn't fast fashion. It tells the customer this piece of purpose is built to last.
So the physical quality connects right back to the philosophical mission of being durable and long-lasting.
It's all connected.
And they even boost that premium feel by bringing in external brands, right? The sources listed a Be Merciful embroidered Adidas quarter zip.
And a women's Adidas performance polo, too.
That's so smart.
It's incredibly strategic. By co-branding with Adidas, they instantly buy all this credibility for quality and performance. It just removes any risk or doubt for the consumer about the product itself.
Okay, let's tie this quality commitment to their business model. The marketing uses a lot of urgency, which is pretty common in streetwear.
That's right. You see the sales, all items must go are free shipping. The holiday blowout, the 10% off sign-up, classic stuff. But the real core of it is emphasizing the limited nature of the drops.
Right. The sources literally say, when it's gone, it's gone.
The classic scarcity model.
But doesn't that create a tension? I mean, if your whole mission is to be built for everybody and provide purpose for everyone, does a strict limited drop model kind of undermine that? It creates scarcity for the very people you claim to serve.
That is the essential conflict in their strategy, you're right. They're trying to get that high cultural status of streetwear, which runs on scarcity and FOMO, while also holding the moral high ground of inclusivity.
So it forces you to act like a hype beast to get your piece of spiritual affirmation.
Exactly. It makes their reminder of grace a time-sensitive, highly sought-after commodity. It's a fascinating paradox.
And before we wrap, we should mention that their customers seem to recognize the quality. The sources cited feedback from content creators, Josephine L. Mabey and Joanne Ellis.
Yeah, they praised the comfort, the fit on the hips, the support team. So it seems like the claims about quality and inclusive fit are actually being validated by their audience.
Okay, so what does this all mean? I think what we've synthesized here confirms that BMerciful Fashions hasn't just found a niche, they've basically defined it. They're successfully merging deep faith messaging, streetwear style, and really intentional inclusive sizing.
Right, they've positioned their product not as apparel, but as a wearable piece of your identity, a piece of your purpose.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, what does this all suggest about the future of fashion? I mean, with this depth of messaging, from the lion emblem to the mercy drop concept.
Well, I think we're seeing clothing move beyond just aesthetics. It's becoming a necessary wearable form of, philosophical or spiritual affirmation.
And it's being marketed with the same urgency as any other high fashion item.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It raises this powerful question of whether we as consumers are more willing to pay a premium, not just for a logo, but for the internal message, the purpose that's stitched into the fabric.
The idea that the clothes you choose aren't just reflecting your style, but they're actively communicating your core values.
That's it.
A fascinating thought to end on. BMerciful Fashions is literally selling purpose wrapped in heavyweight fabric, and it leaves you to consider, how much of your own identity do you literally wear every single day? Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.